Emociones. Alfa Omega. Presenta.
Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Yo feliz en un lugar maravilloso donde hoy tenemos una entrevista con una persona muy especial, un hombre maravilloso, no nada más por fuera, sino también por dentro, que nos viene a compartir y a dar una información que a todos nos va a ayudar. Él es médico, quiropráctico y ha sanado mucho, pero no específicamente como médico, y por eso hoy nos va a resolver todas las dudas para que tú aprendas a sanar. Y hoy tenemos este libro, La Reconexión. Dice: sana a otros, sánate a ti mismo. Es una propuesta que me mandó Ediciones Obelisco y Ediciones Nirvana, que yo les agradezco muchísimo, porque creo que sanarnos por medio de la energía es algo donde cada vez nos estamos abriendo más. Pero para eso, un especialista como Espero hoy nos va a aclarar todas las dudas. Welcome to Mexico.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, as always, to be here.
Gracias. Bueno, me gustaría que me contestaras cómo es que te diste cuenta de que tú podrías sanar energéticamente por medio de tus manos.
On a Thursday in August of 1993, and if I knew how important of a date, how significant of a date that would have been, I would have marked it on the calendar, because I don't know which Thursday it is. But it was a very unusual experience for me. I had been practicing as a doctor of chiropractic for 12 years, and on that one night, a lamp next to my bed turned itself on and woke me up. And the first thing I noticed was that my bedroom door was open, but it was closed when I went to sleep. So I thought someone was in my house. It felt like someone was in my house. I grabbed an old knife and an empty can of pepper spray and my Doberman pinscher, and we went looking through the house, but we couldn't find anyone. That Monday morning, I went into my office, and my patients started telling me that they felt people in the rooms with us in a very comforting way, gently resting their hand on their other person's hand, or a hand on the shoulder or on the forehead. They said they started seeing colors they had never seen before and smelling flowers they had never smelled before. And they started demonstrating healings, real healings. They were getting up out of wheelchairs, vision and hearing returning. Children with cerebral palsy or epilepsy were able to walk and run and play and speak normally, not have seizures. And we began to recognize that something was happening. Although it didn't happen with 100% of the people, 100% of the time, the same way, it happened with a significant number of people, a significant amount of the time.
¿Cómo es que tú decides llevar a que en tus seminarios la gente aprenda a sanar y decides compartirlo para no nada más ser tú, sino que mucha gente aprenda a sanar?
It wasn't my first thought.
Pues no fue mi primera idea, de hecho.
I couldn't imagine experiencing any greater high than facilitating these healings for my patients in my office. But my patients kept calling me and asking me to teach this, and others kept asking me to teach this. And I said, I really don't think you can teach it. But my patients were saying something is happening. They're saying we drive home from your office, our automatic garage door starts to open and close by itself, we walk into our homes, our lamps and televisions and sound systems start turning themselves off and on. We're feeling sensations in our hands, hold our hands near members of our family. They start having healings from different things. The grandmother who couldn't walk after the stroke could suddenly walk. The child with the brain tumor, the tumor is suddenly gone. Again, not for everyone, but for a lot of people. And so I realized there must be a way to teach the gift of reconnective healing, to share it. Because if I don't, when I leave this physical body, where's this going to be?
¿Dónde va a quedar esto?
But if I do what I believe I'm here to do,
Pero si creo que lo voy a
when I leave this physical body, this work will continue.
entonces,
Because of each and every one of you who choose to learn this work. I believe that every human being here, we are each part of a great process that's coming in dramatic scope. I believe we're standing on the precipice of the next level of human evolution. And that whether we believe in God or simply an intelligent universe or whatever word we choose, I believe we as humanity are being observed and being watched and being given an opportunity that says if you and you and I and each of us are brave enough to choose to learn this work, then we become a part of the transformational process shared by infinite generations to come.
Es como si estuviera abriendo el abanico de todas las posibilidades que muchos años hemos tenido reprimidos, pero que ahora energéticamente y que hasta la ciencia está aceptando cada vez más.
Science is studying reconnective healing because they know that it works and they want to know how it works. I don't know if they'll ever completely figure out how it works. They're finding many ways. They're discovering that reconnective healing frequencies, and that's what science calls it today, the reconnective healing frequencies, are actually restructuring our DNA in a way that it allows us to emit higher and more harmonic levels of light to keep our body healed in a more coherent, conscious, and harmonic way. Because what is it when we fall away from perfect health except we fall out of harmony within us? Science is discovering that this reconnective healing affects our brain waves, our heart waves, our blood oxygen levels, all in optimal ways. It accelerates sports performance for athletes. As a matter of fact, it accelerates healing from injuries. One study done by the University of Arizona showed that just minutes of reconnective healing was more than twice as effective in restoring full range of motion to the limbs of the body.
¿De qué manera podemos hacer entender a las personas que le debemos de dar más importancia a todo lo del plano energético que a lo del plano material?
I think instead of focusing on getting others to understand it, we have to explore it ourselves. And the greater our own understanding, the greater we naturally share this with others and increase their desire to learn. Do you know that every time you experience something, consciously, not consciously, emotionally, we learn something, we grow, we expand, every experience is fully embodied in any one proton, in any one atom in your body. Once it's owned by one proton, it's shared by all the other protons within you. Then it's shared by all the other protons within someone sitting near you, or within your cameraman across the way, or within the people listening to us have this conversation. And ultimately, quantum physics says that every change and evolution within one proton within you is shared by every proton within the universe. In other words, our curiosity, our desire to experience, to learn, to grow is not selfish. It's part of an ultimate design to continue the expansion of the universe on a quantum level. We are taking quantum leaps as humanity, but because we're in the middle of the leap, we don't view it as quantum because we think of quantum as the movie Lucy or Keanu Reeves in Matrix moving slowly across time and space, but it's not that. It's this. It's real. You can feel this. Do you want to feel it? Would you like to feel it? Take one hand. Open your fingers like that. Open them real wide where I have them, and hold them there. Okay? Now I'm going to bring one hand in here. My whole hand begins to float. Do you see how your fingers just moved?
Sí.
Are you moving your finger, or is your finger moving itself?
No.
It's moving itself, right? Uh-huh. What do you feel when I do this?
La sensación es como, no es hormigueo, pero se siente algo.
I don't know how to say. I feel something.
But if you did know how to
O sea,
say
es
it,
como si algo externo a mí los estuviera moviendo.
It is like if something external is moving.
even though we can feel it right through the wind,
También hasta puedes sentir
because it's happening on a different dimension.
está sucediendo en una dimensión.
As I pull or I stretch my hand further away,
Y me alejo de tu mano.
does it stay the same or does it change now?
Cambió lo que sentías.
Cambió.
It changed.
How?
Cambió. Ahora no siento mucho lo que cuando tu mano está más cerca.
I don't feel much.
Ahí siento
Now
mucho,
I feel
o
really
como-
so much.
And now?
Y ahora
Es como si se moviera. Esa misma sensación, pero si fuera una ola.
like a wave.
It's actually stronger with
Es
distance.
más fuerte en realidad a distancia.
This is different than energy.
Es diferente.
Energy, we know, gets weaker with distance. This becomes more because it takes us beyond any of the gifts we've ever learned through our energy healing techniques. Reiki, Jorei, Jinshin, Qigong, old techniques, new techniques. And it allows us to not just access those parts of the energy field we live in, but to access all of the energy field we live in. And then the energy field that we live in changes and expands once we let go of and transcend, leave behind our energy healing techniques. And we move into aspects of light and information that the scientific researchers said they've never seen here on the planet before until Reconnective healing.
Quiere decir que todos estamos conectados.
It means that every single
Debemos de
person is
entrar en una
connected
conciencia
one
de
to
que todos
another.
estamos
So
conectados
we
y
need
todo
to
nos
have that
afecta a todos.
consciousness that we are connected and
Connecting, yes. Yes, the consciousness
sí,
that we are one.
la conciencia de que somos uno.
Connected is a funny word
Conectarse es una palabra
because does one thing connect?
porque una cosa se conecta.
Or do you actually need two things to connect?
Necesitas otra cosa para que se conecte.
So the idea of being connected already plays the mind game of that we're separate, but we're not. We are one. We are one. I didn't touch you and you felt that in your hands.
Tú tuviste esa sensación en tus manos.
Everyone is touching and no one is touching.
Todos tocan y nadie
Everything
toca.
is touching and nothing is touching. The molecules in your phone are not touching each other. The molecules in the chair you're sitting on are not touching each other. The chair arm is supporting the phone, but quantum physics will tell you that nothing in that relationship is touching anything. It's all a field that science calls empty space, which isn't really empty at all.
Espacio vacío.
It's actually a field of information that interacts. You know,
¿Sabes qué?
Reconnective healing is an art, it's a science, and it's a
Tiene que
philosophy.
ver con arte, conciencia y filosofía.
It's important
Es muy importante.
because I could teach you
Yo puedo enseñarte
the physics of how to
la
do
física
this.
de cómo hacerlo.
We've taken part one
La parte uno
of Reconnective healing, which you used to have to learn Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 3 days.
Sábado y domingo.
We've condensed it into a very interactive online
Ahora es
course.
un curso en línea muy
So now if you go to therereconnection.com or you find us, you can download the online level 1 course and learn the basics of Reconnective healing on your own, at your own pace, at your own time, for very little money, and you don't have to travel. You can learn how to embody the Reconnective healing frequencies, how to bring them into your life, your consciousness, your movement. It's 8 hours, at least 2 hours of which are just exercises and learning how to find them and feel them. But the frequencies are communicated somehow. It teaches you the basics of starting your own Reconnective healing practice if you want to. And it doesn't mean you have to become a Reconnective healing professional. But isn't it nice to know it at that skill? The only people that we recognize or acknowledge as professional Reconnective healing practitioners are foundational. So if you're looking for one, you can find Reconnective healing practitioners through Mexico, but only go to one who's foundational because they're the only ones who would practice it at this highest, most foundational level. But you might choose that you only want to do a healing occasionally for your little niece or nephew, for your grandmother.
Sobrino.
You might choose that you're a college student and you want to just enhance your income while you're going to school. And you might say, I've done my career long enough. I've been doing it for the money, but now I want to do something that makes my heart sing to be able to support myself and my family. And Reconnective healing gives us that capacity. It doesn't mean that everyone needs to work one-on-one to bring about healings to be a healer. You are asking questions and sharing this consciousness with your audience. You're affecting more people as a healer this way than you would be working one-on-one. But for others, our call is to work one-on-one, and Reconnective healing makes this a possibility. I think we're both fortunate and brave if we have the courage to choose to live our life purpose. It would be easy. Many people tell me it would be easier, my life would be easier if I did something else. My life wouldn't be possible for me to do something else. I have no choice but to do this. I don't mean I'm being forced externally. I found my purpose and I'm being compelled from within to share this work. So, as I said, when I leave this body, this work will continue because of those of you who choose to learn it. Mexico is so key. Mexico is so key to the consciousness, to the thinking. South America looks up towards Mexico, and Mexico influences the North as well. The online level 1 just became available in Spanish days ago. I had to bring it here first. As a matter of fact, the online level 1 makes you eligible to learn the level 2, the professional level, which now is only a weekend. And we are bringing it here to Mexico City. It will be June 30th through July 2nd here in Mexico City.
Hablas de México, se dice que México energéticamente se abrió un vórtice que nos está ayudando a nivel mundial. ¿Qué le ves tú? ¿Qué sientes al venir a México?
A heart and soul of a people with deep history in a way that is, I don't know that cosmopolitan is the right way, but I mean it's a convergence of cultures, like cream rises to the top. And all of these cultures seem to converge here. I mean, I've spent time in Teotihuacan, and I love the history there, but we can't live only in the history. We have to live today in the present world. You're bringing this consciousness to more and more people. I feel fortunate to be invited, and I hope I'm a part of this, and I enjoy that as well. I don't know how to explain it.
No sabría cómo explicarlo.
Okay. Pero se siente.
Feel it.
Y el trabajo aquí se ve.
Que
es más que suficiente. Todas las personas pueden autosanarse.
Every single person can
haciendo un curso.
Everyone.
Haciendo tus congresos.
Being part of your congress.
Everyone can learn how to do Reconnective healing. Usually, it's a cross representation of the public. It goes from people who are doctors and nurses and physical therapists, acupuncturists, massage therapists, energy healers down another part of the scale, and yet in the middle, housewives, house husbands, college students, taxi drivers, bankers, kings, queens, government people, even clergy. From children sometimes as young as 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, to adults in their 80s and 90s. I have an uncle who's 103 years old who loves this.
Tengo un tío de 103 años que le encanta este trabajo.
¿Esto tiene que ver con la fe?
Does this have to do with faith?
Reconnective
La
healing
sanación reconectiva
doesn't require that you believe in it.
quiere que creas en ello.
Doesn't require that you have faith in it or hope that it works. It doesn't require positive thinking or mind over matter or tap, tap, tap techniques or neurolinguistic programming or any of those things. As a matter of fact, you just felt it in your hand.
Simplemente lo sentiste en tus manos.
Was it real or was it your
¿Fue real o
imagination?
fue tu
Real.
imaginación?
Really.
I mean, what more is there? This is just like this chair doesn't care whether we believe in it. When we sit down, it supports us because the chair simply is. And reconnective healing simply is.
Simplemente es.
Así es. Eric, yo estoy muy agradecida,
I am so grateful, Eric.
pero sobre todo me gustaría para
And
cerrar esta
really,
entrevista
just to finish this interview,
que ya nos aclaraste que esto
you
lo puede
already
hacer
told
cualquier
us,
persona
you
que
made
se
it clear
prepare,
that
que
any
tome un curso,
person can be
que
part
lea
of
el
the
libro,
course.
que despierta
So
esa
the person
energía
should
vital que
read
todos
the
tenemos y que la podemos usar a
for us to
nuestro
know
favor
the energy that
para
we have
sanarnos.
and to use it on our favor.
Dios, ¿qué tiene que ver con todo esto? Cualquier persona de cualquier religión
God has
no tiene nada
nothing
que
to
ver
do
con la
with this.
religión. ¿A dónde voy?
So, what
Quiero
I
que
want
la
God, God has something to do with everything.
Dios tiene que ver con todo.
That's my belief
Y
personally.
eso es lo que yo creo.
But
Pero-
my personal belief
Mi creencia personal
is mine.
es mía.
And each of us has
Y
to have
cada
our
uno de nosotros
own.
debe de tener la suya
So-
propia.
You know, what is spirituality?
¿Qué es la espiritualidad?
Something causes trees to grow
Algo
up
causa que los
and tree roots
árboles
to grow
crezcan,
down
y
and
que
babies to be
parasitan
born
para-
with 2 eyes and
y que
1
los bebés
nose.
nazcan con dos
Some of us call it God.
Entonces,
Some of us call it love.
lo llaman
Some of
amor,
us call it
llaman Dios,
the intelligence
otros
of the
lo llaman
universe or
el
zero
universo,
point field.
o el
This
punto
has
cero,
everything to do with
el
everything,
campo punto cero.
whether we believe in it or
Esto no
not.
tiene que ver en que si creemos o no.
Ok. Bueno, pues creo que tenemos aquí una gran tarea. Hay
So
que
here
abrir
we have a great
nuestras
task to do.
posibilidades, abrir nuestra mente a nuevas
Let's open our
posibilidades, abrir el
possibilities,
abanico
open
que
our
ya
minds
está
to our
abierto, pero que
possibilities. I keep
probablemente
opening
tú no
that
te
hand
has
that is already
arriesgado.
open.
Simplemente te quiero invitar a
I
que
just
te
want to
arriesgues, a que
invite
lo
you
compruebes
to risk,
y que te
to
des la
take this risk,
oportunidad de
to
entender
give
que
yourself
hay
a chance,
opciones, que
because
cada
you know
vez se
there are
comprueban
choices to
más
take.
y esta es
And
una de las
this choice
mejores
is one of the
o
best
de los
ones
mejores
to
libros que
take.
tú puedes
It's one of the
leer
best
para que
books
te
you can
ayude a
read
encontrar
for
una
you to
sanación
find your
verdadera, una sanación
real
propia.
healing, your
Por
own
supuesto,
healing.
entrando a todo lo relacionado a la página de Eric para
Of
que
course,
puedas
you can visit Eric's
encontrar todos los cursos
page.
que va a estar dando próximamente.
And then you can
Mañana
find
va a estar
information.
dando aquí un curso en la Ciudad de México
Tomorrow
y
he
bueno,
will be
pues
in a
el,
conference, for example,
este
in
libro
Mexico City.
se ha traducido a
So this book
40
has been
idiomas.
translated
Aquí dice
into 40
33, pero la
languages. You
novedad
can
es que
read
ya son
33,
40
but in
idiomas
reality
y
we're
este
talking
libro ha
about
sido
40
bestseller
languages.
internacional.
And this is an
Que
international
pues
bestseller
con
book.
con esta pequeña cifra pues nos damos cuenta
And then with this
de la
figure,
importancia
40,
y
we
sobre todo
can
de
get to
la
know the
gran
importance of
realidad
this.
que él nos comprueba aquí en este libro que se
So
llama
this
La
book is
Reconexión
The
del
Reconexion
Dr. Eric
by Dr.
Pearl.
Eric
Así
Pearl.
que muchísimas
So
gracias,
thank you very
gracias
much,
Eric
Dr. Eric
nuevamente
Pearl, once again.
y pues que sean muchas más venidas
I
a
hope you can
México
come
y
back
a
and
regalarnos
come back and come
todo
back
este
to Mexico
conocimiento
to
y
give
todo
away all
esto
this
que de
knowledge
alguna manera
that
la
somehow
divinidad puso en tu
the
camino y que
divine
ahora nos lo
put
compartes.
in your way.
Gracias, and it would be my absolute pleasure to be back as soon as I can. And thank you for your beautiful interview.
Gracias por tu hermosa
Gracias a
entrevista.
ti, thank you.
Gracias.
Gracias.